Breath of the Wild is a beautiful game, but not in the way beauty usually announces itself. It doesn't overwhelm you with music the moment you step outside. It doesn't flood the screen with spectacle or demand your attention through constant motion. Its beauty is restrained, almost hesitant. It lives in soft light breaking over hills, in grass moving with the wind, in moments where nothing at all is happening. At first, this beauty feels like freedom, but the longer you exist inside it, the clearer it becomes that this world is not celebrating, it's remembering. Hyrule feels quiet in a way that suggests absence, not peace. Ruins dot the landscape where towns once stood. Roads lead to nowhere. Towers rise over fields that no longer need watching. Machines roam endlessly, still following commands that lost their meaning a century ago. Life exists here, but it's scarce. Villages are small. People live on the edge of the map, not at its center. They speak calmly about catastrophe as if it happened so long ago that panic finally ran out. The land has learned how to survive without its hero, and as you travel through it, the game never lets you forget one crucial truth. You are not here to prevent the end of the world, you arrived after it happened. Breath of the Wild understands the emotional weight of silence. Music rarely leads, instead, it waits. Sparse piano notes appear briefly, then disappear again, leaving long stretches of wind, footsteps, and distant weather. The soundscape is never empty, but it's never crowded. This loneliness is not meant to punish you, it's meant to give you space. You are allowed to walk for minutes without direction, to climb simply because something looks interesting, to stop and watch the sun move across the sky. You grow alone, but not in isolation. The story tells you that time is running out. Calamity Ganon still exists. Zelda is still holding him back. The threat is real, present, and unresolved. Yet the game refuses to rush you. There is no timer, no escalating disaster, no reminder pulsing on the screen demanding progress. Quests wait patiently, objectives remain exactly where you left them. The contradiction is intentional. The world insists on urgency. The game insists on patience. The Great Plateau does not teach you how to fight. It teaches you how to live. Warmth matters. Food matters. Balance matters. The first failures are small and personal. Freezing, falling, misjudging distance. Progress comes quietly and incrementally. One heart, one climb, one mistake you don't repeat. You are not becoming powerful, you are becoming stable. Breath of the Wild is a game built entirely around failure. Not failure as spectacle, but failure as a starting point. The hero has already lost. The kingdom has already fallen. The legendary victory everyone speaks of happened long ago, and even that victory came at a terrible cost. So the game does something radical. It lets you begin gently, even after being gone for 100 years, even when the world believes you are late, even when the story insists that time is running out. You choose your pace. You are trusted to know when you are ready. There is no moment where the game declares that you are strong enough now. Weapons break, tools disappear, even legendary power fades. Strength is temporary, and the game never allows you to forget it. This is not cruelty, it is honesty. Breath of the Wild teaches that strength is not something you collect, it is something you adapt. Preparation matters more than dominance. Awareness matters more than speed. Learning when to retreat is just as important as learning how to fight. The music of Breath of the Wild understands restraint better than most games ever have. Where other soundtracks push you forward, this one breathes with you. Soft piano notes surface briefly, often just a few at a time, then fade back into silence. They don't signal danger or triumph. They suggest awareness, a reminder that something matters without insisting that it matter right now. This creates a strange emotional balance. There is urgency in the music, but never panic. You hear it most clearly while exploring. A melody appears as you crest a hill, or when the weather shifts, or when you pause long enough for the world to notice you. It carries the weight of what's at stake. Zelda's struggle, a kingdom held together by time and hope, but it refuses to rush towards your resolution. Even combat themes avoid excess. They escalate just enough to remind you that danger is real, then dissolve once the moment passes. The game never traps you in adrenaline, it lets tension rise and fall naturally. This mirrors the design philosophy perfectly. The world is waiting, the problem is real, but you are allowed to take your time becoming the person who can face it. The music doesn't demand urgency, it acknowledges it. And in that acknowledgement, it gives you permission to move forward at your own pace. You can face Calamity Ganon at any time. The game will not stop you, but it trusts you to understand something important. Readiness is not measured in hearts collected or hours played. It is measured in calm. By the time you reach the end, the final battle does not feel frantic. It feels inevitable. Not because the enemy is weak, but because you are no longer afraid. Breath of the Wild is not about saving the world. It's about learning how to live in one that has already been broken. It suggests that growth does not need urgency, that recovery does not need permission, and that arriving late does not disqualify you from beginning at all. The world waited, it gave you space, and when you were ready, the ending waited too. Breath of the Wild does not end with spectacle, it ends with understanding. By the time you stand at the edge of Hyrule Castle, the world has not suddenly healed. The ruins are still there, the roads are still broken, the quiet still lingers in the fields. What has changed is not the land, it is you. You are calmer, more patient, more aware of your limits. The game never rushes you toward this moment because it understands something deeply human. Growth cannot be forced. Strength that arrives too quickly collapses just as fast. Breath of the Wild refuses to reward panic, grind, or urgency for its own sake. Instead, it rewards attention, curiosity, the willingness to stop, to fail quietly, and to continue anyway. Even the final battle reflects this philosophy. It's not chaotic, it's not overwhelming. It feels deliberate, almost ceremonial, not because the threat is small, but because you have grown into something capable of meeting it. And that's the game's quiet truth. It was never about arriving on time. You were gone for 100 years. The world waited. Zelda held on as long as she could, not because she expected you to be perfect, but because she believed you would arrive when you were ready. Breath of the Wild tells us that being late does not mean being unworthy, that healing does not follow schedules, the progress does not announce itself, that sometimes the most important victories happen slowly, without witness, without music, without applause. The piano fades, the wind returns, the world continues. And even now, even after failure, after loss, after time has passed, you are still allowed to begin.